つだってそうだ自分のこと後回しでみんなが笑って
Welcome everybody to the top 10 most stupid anime ever. My name is Misty / Chronexia, and when it comes to intelligence, stupid and idiotic are often regarded as pejorative terms, while at the opposite, smart and clever is something people strive to. But really, they're only ratings on a scale. There's nothing wrong with having an aloof and goofy attitude. If anything, it's a prime candidate for comedy. So I decided to list 10 anime where the characters are kind of mentally challenged, for lack of a better term, so don't be surprised they're all comedy. So let's have a look at them.
まさか帰ろうとしてたんじゃないでしょうね。約束忘れたふりして逃げようってんじゃないでしょうね。逃げさあ、なんの
Number 10. Kare baka wagahai no kare wa baka de a. Have you ever heard of this title? Probably not, and I can't really blame you. First off, despite coming out in 2016, this show never hit the TV screen. It was a net anime. There's only 8 episodes, and each of them barely tap 5 minutes on the clock. The premise is about a teenage girl who dates a really handsome guy. But despite being good looking, the guy is a complete idiot. The anime doesn't have that good of a rating, but when I started watching it, I couldn't help but laugh my ass off. From the over-the-top narration to the guy's clueless attitude to his girlfriend's reaction, it's at the very least worth a glance. It's really short too. I personally lost my shit when the ending played Chopin's Grand Valse Brilliant and their lyrics were simply humming it. That was just gold for me.
二宮君が予定？
うん。高校の友人たちと会うんだ。なるほど。一理あるな。
そう考えると
苦しいやつだ。
まずはスイカ割りしよう。いいね。
Number 9. Aho Girl. One of the reasons I chose this topic was so I could talk about Aho Girl. I didn't have a chance to include it in last week's video, which was the summer release, so I'm heading it here. Aho Girl is a story about an idiotic teenage girl whose only focus in life is to have fun, avoid studying at all costs, and just enjoy herself. Her character is very aloof and makes for some great setup. The comedy is fast-paced, divided in many parts per episode, and she clashes a lot with the main character Zakuru, who's an exemplary student, and he's pretty smart. Despite having a few sexual jokes, the anime is pretty clean and constantly compare the girl to a monkey. The episodes are only 12 minutes long, but check it out regardless if you're into currently airing anime.
わかった。俺の言ってることがわかるのか。本当は嫌いじゃない。嘘だ。よしこより言葉が。
そんなの選べるか。頭が。
選べ。
やだ。
Number 8. NOUCOME. In the case of NOUCOME, I can't really say the characters are stupid, but the premise makes it so the protagonist Kanade always do stupid stuff. Kanade is afflicted by a curse called Absolute Choice. When he least expects it, he is presented with 2 ultimatums and is forced to choose one of either. If he tries to avoid it, he is struck with severe pain until he picks one. It's essentially a romanticized version of OCD, the obsessive compulsive disorder, where someone would need to touch a door handle 3 times, flip a switch 4 times before being able to leave the house. That's my personal approach on this anime, but regardless, it still leaves up a hilarious scenario where the main character acts like a complete doofus because his choice is either strip naked or molest a girl. You'll get it by watching. It's a great time.
感想聞かせて。ウジ虫娘。
そのネタ続けるのか。
あ、ウジ虫。そうだ。
宿題。
マジで数学だけでいいから写させてよ。
数学しか出てねえだろ。
いいから、はい、詰める。
Number 7. SOREDEMOMACHI wa mawateiru. SOREDEMOMACHI is an anime I found wholeheartedly endearing. The story is about an hairhead, aloof teenage girl who works as a maid in a cafe. She's clumsy, oblivious, and as derpy as it gets. This anime, while not being incredible on the animation front or the catchy music side, it finds its strength in the atmosphere it creates. Not a lot of people know about this show, but if you enjoy the microcosm of a town, you get it all with this show. The stupidity in this anime revolves around the main girl, but besides that, it's a really solid entry that is not meant to be taken lightly. It's thought-provoking, and out of this list, for veteran, this is one of the most obscure titles on here.
なんだ。 今日は珍しく賑やかだな。
あたり、カモ2号だよ。ほら、挨拶の練習。
まさかあんなやつ初めておよよ聞いてくださいおまわりさん確かに万引きしたのは私です
Number 6, Binbougami Ga. Good Luck Girl is one of my all-time favorite comedy. It is so stupid and I love every second of it. The plot is about an incredibly lucky girl who, whatever she does, is always blessed with good fortune. She's pretty, rich, smart, she got everything she wants in life. Turns out that Ichiko, the girl, is actually sucking up the luck of people around her. So a god of misfortune is set upon her to restore that balance, and to make for some pretty interesting clash. Every character in this anime is stupid in its own right, may that be in their stubborn nature or flat out lack of clever thinking. The show delivers both high and lows. I recommend it dearly to anyone looking for a great comedy.
わからないの拳と拳を交えたライバル同士戦いの後に芽生える感情それは友情じゃなくて
すまないねせっかく帰ってきたのに晩ご飯の用意までさせてしもて
いいんですよお母さん本当はねちゃんと毎年帰ってこられればいいんですけど
Number 5, My Bride is a Mermaid. My Bride is a Mermaid is an anime I didn't quite know what to expect going in. The story is about a teenager who nearly drowns out at sea. He is miraculously saved by a mermaid. Unfortunately, this mermaid is also the daughter of a pretty big Yakuza family. To prevent the secret from escaping into the world, they either have to kill him for knowing too much or marry the daughter. Obviously, Nagasumi, the main character, chooses one of the lesser evil and now has to be on constant protective duty to make sure no one else finds out about this. So why does it belong in a stupid list? Well, the premise to begin with is pretty out there, but it also is a parody who likes to set up convoluted scenarios. You might find the final result to be quite worth this list.
そちらにご足労いただいたら他でもない。
親子で勝手な妄想に走ってる場合じゃないだろうユージ秀吉どうしたんだ二人とも大変だむつりに二人を保健室ねえはずき
Number 4, Bakata Testo Shokanju. This one might be an anime you've heard of before, maybe even saw it yourself. The show is as idiotic as it can get. The premise sorts the student in a school in terms of smartness. Most intelligent student ends up in class A, and it goes downhill until class F. The anime follows the student in class F and their antics as they challenge a class student to improve their grades. The show has a full-on comedy approach, borderline asinine, but in a very good way. For example, the main character is so poor he decides that every day he divides a pack of ramen to eat, eventually leaving him with 1/64 of a ramen pack. If that seemed like your type of humor, I highly recommend it.
おいしそう
恥ずかしいです飲み物を持ってくるのを忘れました取ってきますね
このままじゃ生徒たちにも示しがつきませんよ皆さん多感な時期なんですからねって何が多感よざけんじゃないわよたくも
ゆかり先生
Number 3, AZUMANGA Daioh. I think it's fair to say whoever starts watching AZUMANGA Daioh is soon to have a WTF look in their eyes. This show is based on a 4-koma manga, which translates to a 4-panel manga. They would be the equivalent of the newspaper comic strips. So when it came down the anime adaptation, the whole show got this overall slice of life aspect despite being purely a comedy show. I think it did quite a memorable job, for the only other rival I can think of would be Nichijou. AZUMANGA Daioh follows a group of students in a class along with their homeroom teacher. But despite having a prodigy in their class, you're soon left out with the feeling that everybody's an idiot in their own rights. It's a bit tricky to explain, but check it out if it piqued your curiosity.
負けるかあなたはつい先ほど不幸にも亡くなりました短い人生でしたが
Number 2, Konosuba. Is anyone really gonna argue this one? I think this ranking is more than fair. The characters aren't really unintelligent, but at the same time, they're fucking dumbass. You got a goddess who's so powerful she looks down on everyone until she's in a pinch. You have a girl whose sole purpose in life is to explode everything, but that's her only skill and it KOs her every time she uses it. And finally, the last girl's a masochist. ain't the most clever party to go on an adventure with. Unfortunately, that's Kazuma's fate, a teenager who died after getting a tremendous shock. Stuck in a brand new world, he's on a mission to kill the most evil beast in the world. Well, him and his dumb crew. Try it out if you won't be disappointed, I promise.
冒険者になりたいんですが。
そうですか。では最初に登録手数料がかかりますが。
はいはい。は？
彼女ってどうやったらできんの？
そんなのお前放課後の教室でだな。
And finally, number 1, Daily Lives of High School Boys. I mean this in the most respectful way, but Daily Life of High School Boys is the most stupid anime I've ever seen, and I've loved all of it. The show's premise follows the everyday lives of 3 teenagers as they attend school, get into crazy scenarios. If there's just one anime you can pick on this list, I beg you to choose this one. It will have you laugh out loud for the whole 12 episodes. They make fun of everything from the classic teenage girl running to school with a slice of bread in her mouth to love confessions. If you've seen a bunch of anime, you're seriously in for a good time with this one. I hope you get to try it out.
あれ人間恐れないから寝てる時とかに入っちゃうんだろうな。はい、じゃあまた秀則の番ね。
ちょっと待て。
And that's it. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of more stupid anime out there, and feel free to litter the comment section with all of your favorite ones, but that's all the time that I had to cover some of my personal favorites. If you enjoy lists like this, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell. Right, everyone remembers the bell? No? Nah, it doesn't matter. I'll have another great top 10 ready for you all next week, but if you're too impatient in the meantime, I can always suggest you check out the top 10 I did last week. A lot of people seem to have missed that one, unfortunately. It was about the current summer season. There's a really good selection in there, so check it out if you're interested. I'll catch you guys again very soon. Love ya!
I've been through the hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.